Big Pharma just took a huge blow to their influence and money that they're pulling here in the United States. Before we talk about what happened, my name is Rick. I hope you turn daily news into daily profits. If that's something you're into, make sure you follow this page. Pharmaceuticals are important in America. They keep people happy, healthy, and ultimately living a longer life. But we also know that unfortunately, pharmaceutical prices have gotten sky high out of control. Now, many attempts have been made to bring down the price of pharmaceuticals, but the problem is Big Pharma lobbies people in this building to ultimately pass laws to make sure that that doesn't happen and prices stay high, because Big Pharma's got to make that money. Now, here's what's interesting. Did you know that drug companies spend hundreds of billions of dollars a year on advertising in order to make you believe that you have to be taking that pill that they're showing you on TV? And did you also know that about $390 million was spent in DC lobbying for Big Pharma companies? And I shouldn't have to tell you this, but did you know that those same Big Pharma companies paid out $13 billion to doctors and hospitals in order to push their drugs? So yeah, as you can tell, Big Pharma has a big say in our health. That could be changing soon because an executive order was just signed to crack down on pharmaceutical ads. And I wish I could say that this was going to impact Wall Street too much, but it's really not. But it will impact Big Pharma and how much investment is coming into them. Because without the ads that Big Pharma runs in order to influence people to believe they need those drugs, those profit margins are going to get lesser and lesser and lesser for Big Pharma. And it should also directly impact the people in this building because now you can't shell out as much money to lobby. And that should also have a direct impact on pharmaceutical prices because now Big Pharma is going to have to be competitive with their prices in order to maintain that same level of profit that they've been getting before. And as a side note, did you know that big pharma companies are able to write off their ads budget because it's a business expense? So they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on ads to influence you to buy their product, all for them to then write off that expense for ads to influence you to buy their drugs. And now you can see why they play a huge role here. But Rick, let's talk about money for 1 second. How can I profit off of this? First off, this is going to impact pharmaceutical companies and marketing companies because now no advertising budget is going into the pharmaceutical companies itself, meaning that they can't push as high profits as they were before. Second off, that advertising money usually goes to media companies, so that's less ad revenue that media companies are pulling in. But this will help massively for biotech companies because biotech companies don't have huge ads budgets, so they're usually being drowned out by Big Pharma. Biotech companies usually rely on innovation rather than advertising. They now are in a position where they can compete better than they were before. And then there's insurance companies who will continue to benefit because it doesn't matter if people are buying pharmaceuticals or going to biotech or alternative medicine, people are still going to need insurance to pay for that treatment. So Big Pharma loses a little bit of influence, and now you know how this is going to impact the market.